Hello. Hopefully, my face is in the frame this time. I am very confident that I got my hand slapped twice by the elders from my last video, which means I missed something. But the way they teach, they don't always tell me what to do right. They just gently remind me that I'm either not doing something well or I could be doing it better. So I'm going to go back to substantial versus insubstantial and hope that it is worth your time. So, the idea of insubstantial and substantial is the idea of opposites or poles, positive, negative, yin and yang. However, I'm not really good at feeling those things, so I try to focus on other aspects of what I'm doing until I've developed enough skill or sensitivity to be able to sense a positive and a negative simultaneously. So, substantial and insubstantial are metaphors. They don't mean a ball and a knife or a sword. They could be a remote control and a ruler. It could be a banana and a knife. It could be a pocket knife and a wrench. It could be a umbrella and a cell phone. It could be any number of things. The whole point for me when I practice is that I always want to habituate my mind to oblige itself to know that if I was actually connecting with another person and doing work, that it's going to have to articulate one side different right than it does another side. And with the idea of ambidexterity, one day blue ball goes in the left hand, sword goes in the right. The next day, the blue ball goes in the right hand and the sword goes in the left. So that way, my body always knows that when I train, I'm going to be asking it to have a different level of volume control in terms of power and a different level of sensitivity in both hand. So that's that. One thing to note that I think is important about substantial and insubstantial, just gotta put these down really quick, is Andy says, there we go. Andy says, I twisted my knee when I started that movement, don't do that. that this is the lure. It is like this is fishing line, and this is a hook. You can issue from it, and you may have seen me do that with the post. However, this is a distraction. What people don't see, if it's Bagua, I'm going to use this to either defend or distract. So having a substantial and an insubstantial from an application perspective, and then let's see here, that was my left. So I'll switch sides. If there is a different movement expression on the lure if it has force that it's managing versus if it has the opportunity to carve. So the reason why insubstantial are good is I'm not going to be able to anticipate how much force my lure is going to need to exert to distract or deflect, and my strike may not always be with a fist, and it may not always be with a sword. So I always want to be making sure that my body knows when we're practicing, when we play, and heaven forbid if we ever have to apply, that it needs to have a maximum level of awareness on both sides, and it needs to have a maximum level of dexterity on both sides. So it's a subconscious way of commanding my body to not make assumptions, not make linear assumptions. Like, these are the same thing, or they require the same amount of energy or force, because they don't.